you turn your mic on?
I have to.
Yeah,
leave it off.
Vicky wants you to.
Probably
Leave it off.
Probably would.
Vicky asked, you better mind her.
It's better if I was like, remember the lady on Peanuts?
I said, if you ask, you better mind her.
He went to the Charlie Brown teacher.
I like that. I will take that advice home.
That's true.
Come on, join us, Mayor. We'll have a big time.
All right,
Is that what we call it?
let's call this meeting pre-council to order. Always good to see everybody here. Is there a motion to approve the minutes? Motion second, all in favor say aye. Aye. Minutes approved. Mr. Mills, you're up first today.
All right, good afternoon, Council and Mayor.
Afternoon.
I have two applications today. The first one was Downtown Entertainment LLC for their special retail less than 7 days for the Chi Omega Rhyme or Reason located at 2301 Joe Malisham Parkway. They have Delta Chi Alumni Game Day Bar at 511 Jefferson Avenue. We have Sig Ep Alumni Game Day Bar at 304 University Boulevard. Kappa Sig Alumni Game Day Bar at 521 Jefferson Avenue. Phi Psi Alumni Game Bar at 312 University Boulevard. KA Alumni at 416 University Boulevard. SAE Alumni at 432 University Boulevard. And Sigma Nu at 990 University Boulevard. That's my first applicant.
Anybody have any questions? Okay.
All right. The second application I have, will be for the Hank Poor Foundation Ale on Wheels special retail less than 7 days. This is one of those nonprofit applications. They're located at 4205 North Ridge Road.
What's the date on that? You know?
Not right offhand. I'll let you know.
Next weekend? Any questions, Mr. Mills? Okay, thank you. Zach Pond, it's your turn.
I've got an annexation for you guys tonight. This is in Mr. Crow's district on the lake. This is 15083 Four Winds Road. On the lake, pretty high up there north of 69. And they're adjacent to the lake, so they want to come in for city schools. And they are very aware that once they come in, they cannot come out.
Always a great question to answer.
Environmental Services will not be providing their services to this area, and it was unanimously recommended for approval.
Could you go back to the overall view?
Yes, sir. This one or
No.
further?
Not there.
So up 69 before you get to the bridge on the left.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Zach. Mayor Maddox?
No idea.
Nothing? Okay. Randy? Haley?
Yes, sir. I just have one board appointment to talk to you all about. It's for the Tuscaloosa County Park and Recreation Authority. If you all remember, back in April, you passed a resolution of support expressing your intention to reappoint Dr. Tony Johnson once his term expired. That term expired September 30th, so we have that ordinance on the agenda for you all tonight.
All right. Good with everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yep, me too. Thank you, Haley.
You're welcome.
Mr. Bobbitt? Got the A-team here today.
Well, we'll find out later. Hope everyone is well today,
Yes, sir.
especially after the weekend, but we're not going to talk about that. Got a somewhat of a lengthy agenda today, and I'll do my best to get through it without the need of oxygen later. But we'll start on your agenda packet on page 2. Under resolutions and ordinances not of a general nature permanent operation, I'm going to skip down to page 13, where you'll be authorizing the purchase of equipment, supplies, or services from Tuscaloosa Tractor, Inc., totaling $42,475.98, and that goes to you from purchasing. Page 14, you'll be authorizing the purchase of equipment, supplies, or services from Tuscaloosa Hyundai, also known as Bama Buggies, for an amount of $41,634, and that comes to you from purchasing as well. Page 15, you'll be authorizing disbursement from District 1 improvement funds for the Bridge Builder Foundation in the amount of $500. You heard about that at Finance last week. Page 16, authorizing disbursement from District 1 improvement funds for Tuscaloosa Housing Authority, the amount of $1,500. That was likewise heard at Finance last week.
Was that entire 1,500 for Tuscaloosa Housing?
Yes, sir.
I thought you had two others.
Then we had the
There's
$500 for
There's
the.
one more coming.
One more.
Okay.
Uh,
500 for the EMA.
We can do. I thought that was the question.
No, that's a bigger question dealing outside district council funds on that.
Right.
Right?
Stay confused.
There's one more, on page 17.
I'm being confused.
On page 17 is authorizing disbursement of District 1 improvement funds for the 3rd annual Veterans Weather Radio giveaway, and that's for $500, and that was heard at Finance last
You
week.
do remember that, don't you, Mr. Busby?
I thought there were three of them bundled together and the total was 1,500, but I would not bet my memory against this record in the minutes.
15, 16, and 17 are on district.
Yes. Page 18, we'll be authorizing disbursement for District 6 improvement funds for Woodland Forest Elementary School Ambassador Program, the amount of $1,535.73. That was heard at Finance last week. On page 19, you'll be authorizing professional engineering and related services contract with TTL for the Queen City Park Master Plan for a total not to exceed of $168,000. That was heard at projects last week. Page 20, you'll be authorizing a professional services contract with John D. Galloway for bridge inspection. That contract is not to exceed $66,900, and that was heard at projects last week. Page 21, authorizing a minor public works contract with L&D Moore Contracting, Inc. for $99,570. That was likewise heard at projects last week. Page 22, authorizing professional services agreement with McGifford and Associates LLC for engineering and related services for the Northern Riverwalk Phase 2 project. Total amount is $747,840. That was heard at projects last week. Page 23, authorizing a minor public works contract with Control Systems, Inc. The contract not to exceed $2,474, and that was also heard at projects last week. Page 24, authorizing a minor public works contract with Tusco, Inc. not to exceed $11,238. That was at projects last week. Page 25, authorizing an as-needed minor works public contract with Civil Works Construction not to exceed $50,000. That was on projects last week.
Lisa said she got.
Page 26, authorizing a minor public works contract with Eat My Beats total not to exceed $38,254. That was likewise a project.
Okay.
Page 27, authorizing a minor public works contract with Giffen, Recreation, not to exceed $99,253.46. That was also projects. Page 28, you'll be authorizing a contract with Verta Technologies for professional and technical services related to the LED video wall system for the Mercedes-Benz Amphitheater, not to exceed $741,219.33. We heard about that in projects last week. Finally, something from Finance, not projects. Page 29, you'll be authorizing the mayor to execute an amendment to municipal agency funding contract with Tuscaloosa Tourism and Sports Commission, an increase of $50,000. Page 30, authorizing the mayor to execute an amendment to municipal agency funding contract with Tuscaloosa Sister Cities Commission, an increase of $8,000.
Mr. Bobbitt.
Yes, sir.
On that, what does that bring their total? The total is supposed to be 120.
I am not sure.
I thought we voted 8, taking them 112 to 120.
Yeah.
Was it not 112? Was that not the baseline?
I know Lisa got something, and I spoke with Dana about it because she got something from Dana that said that it said 118, and I said no, it's supposed to be 120. You know, Carlin?
I don't know, sorry, it's first, I can check on that for you and get back to you on that.
We'll work it out. I thought it was 112 base plus 8.
That's right.
120.
That's right.
Page 31, we were authorizing a selection of contract with Warren Averett for professional audit services for internal audit. Public Law 113-2 fund, not to exceed $25,000. Page 32, you're authorizing a binding coverage and payment of premium for certain insurance coverage for fiscal year 2025, not to exceed $5,712, and that was in finance last week. Coming from TPD is an authorization to contract with Blazing Fire and Water Inc. and declaring a bid law exemption pursuant to Alacode 411651A15, total $65,965. Page 34, approving a job class specifications for A&E and TPD. That was at admin last week. Page 35, approving a downtown riverfront overlay district permit for 2012 8th Street under the DROD. That was heard at admin last week. Page 36 and 37, repealing prior resolutions establishing a public art committee and public art guidelines and establishing a public art advisory committee. That was heard at admin last week. And also from projects last week, and approving a resolution encouraging the Alabama Department of Transportation to keep access to Julia Tutwiler Drive from McFarland Boulevard open. On ordinances and resolutions of a general nature of permanent operations, we've already heard about the annexation, so we'll skip to page 42 and 43. You'll be amending section 2-51.1 of the Code of Tuscaloosa. That was heard at finance last week. On page 44, you'll be amending exhibits A and B of section 19-42 of the Code of Tuscaloosa for A, E, and TPD. That was heard at admin last week. Page 45 and 46, you'll be authorizing amendment number 1 to the fiscal year 2025 general fund budget. That was heard at finance last week. And coming from council, you'll be reappointing Dr. Brent Harden, Steve Edmonds, and Darren Segura to the Tuscaloosa Tourism and Sports Commission. And on page 48, you'll be reappointing Tony Johnson to the Tuscaloosa County Park and Recreation Authority. On page 49 and 50, you'll be setting October 22nd, 2024 as a date for a public hearing to consider the approval of the terrace at Skyland, a planned unit development. And that's all I have. If you have any questions for me, but also we do not have any suspended rules nor executive sessions that I'm aware of.
Page 33, is this something we've discussed? Page 33, the bid law exception, $65,900.
I think we discussed that last week.
That's body armor.
Yes.
That's the body armor,
Yes.
Yes,
fire and water?
Okay, thank you, Tom.
Thank you, sir.
Friday, we've got, projects 2:30, finance 3:15, public safety at 4, then council meeting at 6, the historic preservation commission meets tomorrow at 5. Disposition of property public hearing in city council is, Thursday the 10th. Reminder, Friday at 10 a.m., the ribbon cutting for Snow Hinton Park, correct? Mr.
Yes,
Constantine?
sir.
And also, I want to invite on October 24th, 2 weeks from Thursday, to have the annual Tech Retreat out at the Gateway. And we had, according to TPD, there was 4,000 or 5,000 that came out last year. It was unbelievable.
Great
number.
Well, people come from it was less than 1,000 the first year. But I think they said 5,000 or so that was projected by TPD last year.
Passed out.
And they come from all across the city. But anyway, I'm gonna have a booth to give away candy. If any of y'all would like to join me, we'll call it our city council booth. The mayor, you're certainly welcome to be a part of our booth. And we'll figure out how we're gonna pay for the candy, but it's just such a great night, and it's free, it's safe, there's games, and it's a big festival. So y'all please come and join me. If you can stay, it's 6 to 8. If you can stay for an hour or want to stay for the whole 2 hours, would love to have you.
What night is that?
Thursday, the 24th.
Okay.
You've got a lot of campaign funds.
Yeah. After the tree. Got my tree done now. So,
That tree will break it.
that tree will break it. Hey, anybody else have anything to bring?
Yeah, I do just want to say, first of all, I appreciate everyone that volunteers on the committee. I know Cassius was watching last night with the Planning and Zoning Committee, but I want to say thank you to the staff, Ms. Price, Haley, Zach, Emily, everyone that's so involved with it. We are down to our last meeting for framework. We have one more before the recommendation comes before the council. And I look forward to discussing that recommendation with my council members. So I just wanted to say thank you. We went well past 7 o'clock, but thanks to Ms. Kreitz, who was speed reading comments. I mean, you need to read textbooks like that.
She see the truth.
So yeah, she got us through, with not having to have too much caffeine. So thank y'all again.
Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
I just would also like to thank
Amen.
Raven and thank that whole committee of community service. Because the hours that planning and zoning works to try to make our city better, all across the city, it's a job you don't get paid for. It's a job that you get yelled and screamed at by people all over town. And it takes special people to be able to sit there and to try to make the best decision that they can for the citizens. They work really well with our staff. I know our staff appreciates all of them. And I do think they have kind of a thankless job because I know everybody on our council takes seriously what they recommend to us, because I feel like we always ought to give them the extra benefit of the doubt, because they've put a lot more hours in sometimes than the council does. And we sit and we deliberate on things, and maybe they think about 45 different things that we don't think about. But I do appreciate the countless hours that they all have put in. And that is community service. And we appoint people to these boards all the time that don't nearly work the hours those folks do. I just wanted to say thank you to them. We
Thank
probably don't
you.
tell them enough.
I've noticed when I watch them on TV, that a lot of them have gone and actually looked at what they're talking about. It's not just,
Absolutely.
just reading something on a piece of paper. I appreciate that.
Yeah, they're dedicated.
It takes commitment and dedication.
I wanted to ask. Yeah, I'm not gonna, I'll wait till my community meeting tonight.
You got that today?
Yeah, I got a community meeting tonight, 4:45.
Also, Mr. President, tonight at 4 to, I think, 7, the Stillman College Police Department will be having their National Night Out today.
Yeah.
And looking forward to many people coming out. So if you see me slip out doing public safety, I'll be going to Stillman. And then I think tomorrow, NCLC has a voter get out at the McDonald Houston.
Again, I do want to say next Thursday and Friday, I'll be a part of 3 members to interview for a new Sister City director. And I've got the names of the 5 finalists. If anybody would like to see the names and you know them, maybe if you want to put in a word for them before next Thursday, again, let me know. There's 3 men and 2 women that are among the 5 finalists. That'd be an extremely hard job replacing Lisa Keys. And then I hope I'm not out of line here. I don't think so. But this resolution to keep the access to Julia Tutwiler Drive is so critical to this city, and I just can't say enough about how damaging it would be if they close that access off to Julia Tutwiler Drive. And I want to thank the mayor for his extremely hard work on this, and all the others who have written letters and who have made calls. But for all of you at home, I did a little thing with 3340 earlier today, and I just encourage people to write a letter or email, especially to Governor Ivey, and let her know how critical it is. I was when I was doing the interview today, at the Hampton, there was a man and his wife who have 2 daughters here at university. They're from Texas, and he came up and he said, "I don't know who you are. I just listened to you, but I want to shake your hand because I can't believe anybody would want to close Julia Tutwiler Drive off." How he talked about how they use it, how critical it is, ball games, and so many things. So sometimes we get asked a lot, what can we do to help you guys in situations? Well, I think a letter or email to the governor's office and the highway director, but I believe Governor Ivey would be certainly a more open ear. Do you agree, Mayor?
No doubt. I mean, she is the highway director's supervisor, so I think she can be a great influence in the matter.
And I will tell you this right now, that the land next to I'll tell you how critical this is. Pop Stroke says they feel like they made a mistake possibly coming here because if that road is closed.
I don't blame them, I
I mean,
understand that.
that's critical. There's so many things, and Dr. Daria even wrote a great letter about the safety issue and how it will definitely put the buses will have to operate differently. And I know what Chief Smith said too, you know, minutes matter. We always hear minutes matter in a situation of life or death, and you know, you'd have to go down University Boulevard, turn on Helen Keller, or go Jack Warner, turn on Helen Keller, instead of just coming right off McFarland. I just don't understand the logic behind it at all. Joe Robinson wrote a great letter about how it was designed from the beginning, and you know, his thoughts on it, and I don't think they paid much attention to what he had to say. But again, please take the time to email the governor or write a letter to her. I think the more she hears from people, the more it will help.
You just need them to listen to us.
Yeah.
because This is our community, and we
Right.
ought to have a huge say in something that affects all of us. And last count I had, they all work for us, don't they?
Yes,
We all fund them.
and
That's the part I don't understand, is they work for us. And we know more about Tuscaloosa than they do.
I
Again,
had
hope
that
it's not the
discussion,
same group that screwed up the 82 on my side of the road.
amen.
So,
I had
mean,
that
that's
discussion with Senator Allen this morning.
Not right.
He said there were more, he had some, I won't name names, but he told me who were writing letters and from some statewide organizations. I'm a little hopeful, but you just said it, it's common sense.
the University of Alabama is
It's common
big
sense.
time against it closing, you know, and they're just not listening. The people in this room told me they went to the public hearing, and it was a joke. They didn't listen. They had their minds made up, and it was a waste of people's time to even go. That's just unacceptable. Like I said,
One
it
more
is
thing.
our city.
Can I say one more thing before I
Yes,
get off my
sir.
soapbox? One thing that I think it is important is for us to listen to our people. And I do think the city does a pretty good job of allowing people to speak, of listening to concerns of people. They need to listen to us.
Amen.
Because ultimately, bureaucrats in Montgomery shouldn't be deciding what's happening on our highway. So, sorry.
And there's
I'm
two,
off my
well,
soapbox
there's two major
another minute.
commercial
That's
developments
not right.
that
It's gonna
tomorrow
cost us money.
will go there.
It's gonna cost us money.
But they're not gonna go there if that exit's closed. And that means we all lose.
Absolutely.
So anyway, please do that. Anybody else?
I should have brought that something else.
Okay,
because
all right, is there a motion that we adjourn?